This is going to be a further video on expounding on the axioms of like the CIA cabal and control, right? And these Skinner boxes and Manchurian candidates, mind-controlled assets. What this means for you, right? Because you could obviously come to these conclusions with if you at least understand the nature of the world with the CIA, but obviously I give examples already like Lee Harvey Oswald, Tyler Robinson, grew in my Discord, but I think the most pertinent example to you would be Rob Reiner's recent murder by his own son, right? Because we know his son was like really into drugs, which is the reason drugs are so allowed in this country in the first place is because they're like an ultimate, like that's where mind control comes from. Basically, it's drugs. So obviously Rob Reiner and his son, they didn't really realize that the CIA could trick Rob Reiner's own son into murdering his father, but it's likely, Rob Reiner's son was on social media and he was watching a lot of stuff about how his parents are bad. And he likely got, so the CIA killed Rob Reiner using his own son, right? And that's why if you aren't aware about the CIA, what they're capable of, which I mean was leaked by Assange, it's nothing like conspiracy theory, it's literally what they do. Your own family's in danger, right? If your family are not aware that they could be mind controlled with the internet. And likewise, a lot of Jewish people are mind controlled with the internet to move to Israel, right? Because Israel is a CIA asset right now. Because it was found it's secular. It's supposed to be sort of like a Chinese situation, like a Mao Zedong situation in Israel is what it was supposed to be in the first place for secular Jewish people. But it became religious, which, was perhaps, destined. But, I don't really have too much hope for that place, unfortunately. And I believe the title of this video is There's No Such Thing as the People in the USA. Don't be a hero. Because you're not going to there's not really any reason to wake up the people. I make these videos, but just kind of to see what happens. I don't really have anything else to do. And sometimes people who are sort of like outsider whistleblowers are like kind of rewarded, right? Like Alex Jones was popular, but now what is he? He's like $200 billion in debt. It's like hilarious. And he was also considered crazy, but really all these quote unquote crazy people have been vindicated with the Epstein stuff. And the reason that all these people are being vindicated is because the CIA control apparatus it's like an insane idea, but that's what it really was put into effect, and it kind of worked, but it kind of destroyed the world and turned the world to ashes. It's going to continue to turn the world to ashes, and China's going to be the last place to kind of like sweep up, and China's just going to have all the power. It's like they're the last people. And a topic that I'll discuss is why has it been recently that only it seems stupid people get rich, like Lil Pump, Tekashi 6ix9ine, all these degenerate fools, right? And the reason only stupid people are allowed to get rich is because what the CIA does is they make all the free-flowing money flow into these idiots, and then they could just drain it right back out of them, right? Like what Lil Pump really is just like a wallet. CIA's like, okay, we need to create an illusion. Let's make Lil Pump popular and then just take his money right back. So, Lil Pump was multimillionaire, and now he's broke. Tekashi 6ix9ine is broke and in jail, right? But, only stupid people are allowed to get rich. It used to be like, I guess I'll do some Bob Dylan quotes. Bob Dylan, he was very anti-CIA. All his lyrics are just CIA, like a Desolation Row is that's a great song. Those lyrics, very anti-CIA, and even in his new songs like Things Have Changed or whatnot, he has these lyrics like, you brought me here, now you're trying to run me away. Because CIA actually had an operation where they wanted to promote American propaganda of individualism, and this is why Jackson Pollock, the terrible garbage painter, became famous, and likewise they made Bob Dylan famous. But Bob Dylan was actually a very talented artist, and it's likely similar to what happened with Pynchon and Burroughs, right, promoting individualism. But it was kind of like shooting themselves in the foot. They're kind of they're not smart. They're just kind of evil. The CIA. They just have power. If they didn't have this power, like if JFK won and stripped them of this power, all those people would have just been in jail because they're criminals, like thugs, psychos, right? But they won, and there's really no people to wake up, because what is America? It's like 10% Sikh, 10% like African, 10% Native American, 10% Christian, 10% like Muslim or whatever. All these different things are incorporated, so everyone's schizophrenic. It's just very schizophrenic, which is also a key to mind control. And this mind control apparatus, like obviously, technically worked, but it's just straight, it didn't work, because now China's just now it's just China, right? Now we just have China. But the thing is that China was just atheist, right? Materialist atheist, which is the truth. And obviously in America we have this very anti-atheist sentiment, which is CIA propaganda. They're like, oh, science, soy jack, oh, I love science, right? But like everything we have comes from science. Like our power is like we invented the nuke. So in one sentence we're like, yeah, we're the best at science, we invented the nuke. And then the cultural sentiment is science, I love science. It's just there's no people to wake up. So yeah, don't be a hero. Like I don't even, like the thing about Charlie Kirk is like he got assassinated. He's talking to too many people. It's like I don't want to talk to people. I don't talk to people here. Like I'm surrounded by schizophrenic psychopaths. Really, like the Western mind is evil. It's schizophrenia, and like they're just gonna kill you for like a religious ritual or some crazy thing. Obviously, China is famous now for safety. They're like, oh, safest place in the world, China, 0 homicide rate or something. Obviously not 0, but, if you meet a Chinese person, like I was in Paris and I met a Chinese person, he got instantly robbed by an African. He's like, where are the cameras? And I thought that was very funny. And it was like a young Chinese guy too, like, pretty innocent. And I guess I'll speak on Curtis Yarvin. I'm a fan of Curtis Yarvin, and the reason Curtis Yarvin is allowed to be somewhat popular, even though he's like hated, the reason he's allowed to be popular is because he's hated, right? But the thing about millennials and older people is that they're not really victims of this MK Ultra apparatus as much, because it's a predatory system. Like you have to lobotomize people while they're young. This is why in the military, like in Israel, if I went to Israel, like I can't join the military because I'm too old. Like I can't be mind controlled. But Curtis Yarvin can't be mind controlled, and he's like a legit guy. But because he's kind of like popular, he can live in this illusion. They basically create a Truman Show situation for Curtis, where it's like, yeah, man, the CIA is totally not in control, and Curtis himself, he's like, yeah, I mean, CIA, I don't think they're really in control. I think this thing makes sense because of this bureaucracy, And when did the book he keeps mentioning is like a 1946 book on bureaucracy, and CIA invented 1947, but it is just CIA. But I kind of trust Curtis Yarvin because I actually learn a lot of stuff from Curtis Yarvin. But his reason for like, he says USA is like over and it's dead forever, but he says it's because we need a monarchy, which is exactly what the CIA wants, right? So they're like, yes, Curtis. But like Curtis himself, he's like, yeah, man, China's gonna, he's promoting fleeing to China, and I think as people flee to China, Curtis might meet the X. But yeah, to elaborate on the financial situation, like you're not going to make money. Like this propaganda in America, like, oh, you could get rich. Like you can't get rich. Lil Pump can get rich because he's like a CIA asset. Only like idiots can get rich because they're just wallets of the CIA. It's like the CIA's like narcissistic, but they do like fun, evil stuff, right? Like they're pure schemes. Like that's where their narcissism comes from. They think because they can come up with these clever schemes, they're special, but